watched a YouTube video, finished it, and gone straight to the comments to see what people are saying. Or maybe you've read a news article or a celebrity scandal, and before you've even finished processing, you're reading the comments and seeing what people are saying. It's such a common habit, we barely notice we're even doing it. But why? After all, the comment section's pretty unpredictable. It can be hilarious, insightful, completely unhinged, or an all-out war between two people with way too much time on their hands. So why the hell do we, self-respecting, intelligent people, keep coming back to read comments between people we don't even know? It actually turns out that there's a lot of psychology behind this tiny, almost automatic behavior. Today I want to explain to you why our brains are so drawn to the comment section and why it's much harder to stop scrolling than you might think. So imagine you've just watched a video that makes a bold claim. Let's say somebody says the new diet cures everything, or a celebrity has just done something very scandalous. Before you've decided whether or not you believe it, you check the comments. Why do you do that? Because humans are social creatures. We naturally look to others for cues on how we interpret the world around us. Psychologists call this social proof. Social proof is a mental shortcut where people copy the actions of others to decide how to behave, what to believe, what to think. When we're uncertain, our brains assume that if lots of other people are thinking something, it must be true, or at least worth considering. It's the same reason we're more likely to eat at a busy restaurant than an empty one, or why we look at reviews and choose products with thousands of 5-star reviews as more trustworthy. Or, if you're like me, checking the IMDb ratings of a movie before you choose to invest in it. The comment section act like one big giant focus group. If everybody's saying this is fake, we become more skeptical, especially in the day of AI. If everybody's saying this changed my life, we're more open to believing it. Even if we don't realize it, other people's opinions become part of our own decision-making process. Another reason is curiosity. Sometimes we don't read the comments just because we need information, but because we need to know. How are people reacting? Did anyone notice this weird detail that we noticed? Is there a joke that everybody's making? They say curiosity killed the cat. It is one of the strongest drivers of human behavior. When our brains detect a gap between what we know and what we could know, they push us to fill it. It's uncomfortable not knowing. The comments promise answers. Sometimes they're useful, and sometimes somebody spots something you completely missed. A third reason is that it feels like joining a conversation. Even if we never write a single comment ourselves, reading them makes them feel like we're participating. Instead of consuming content alone, suddenly we're surrounded by thousands of other people reacting at exactly the same moment. It's a strangely social experience. Humans have a very deep need to belong. For most of our evolutionary history, being part of a group wasn't just nice, it was essential for survival. So our brains are wired to pay attention to social interaction. Reading comments lets us feel connected. We're no longer watching a video, we're watching it with thousands of other people. It's the digital equivalent of laughing with an audience at the cinema. The experience feels bigger because we're all sharing it. Even if we're being silent participants, it still satisfies the desire to feel included. Another thing, we want to be right. Be honest. Have you ever opened the comments hoping someone agreed with you? Maybe you noticed something and wanted to check if other people noticed that too. Maybe you thought a film was terrible, or you loved it, or you thought someone was clearly wrong. Then you scroll looking for validation. This taps into what psychologists call confirmation bias. Our brains naturally prefer information that supports what we already believe. Finding comments that agree with us feels satisfying. It reassures us that our opinion is the correct one. But interestingly, we're also drawn to disagreement. Not because we enjoy changing our minds, oh no, but because disagreement grabs our attention. If somebody says something we strongly disagree with, our brain immediately wants to respond, even if only in our heads. Sometimes we even start mentally writing the reply that we know we're never going to send. Controversial comments often receive the most engagement because they trigger stronger emotional reactions. This is the psychology behind rage bait. Whether we agree or disagree, the comments keep us reading. One of the biggest reasons we keep scrolling is the reward loop. Most comments aren't particularly interesting, but every now and then you find one that is absolutely brilliant. Somebody makes a joke funnier than the original video, or points out an incredible hidden detail, or tells an unbelievable story. These moments feel rewarding, and our brains remember them. This works on something called variable reinforcement. It's the same principle behind slot machines. You don't win every time. In fact, usually you don't. But because the reward is unpredictable, you keep pulling the lever. The comment section works in the exact same way. Most comments are average or terrible, but every now and then you discover absolute gold. That tiny reward releases dopamine, the brain chemical involved in motivation and learning. But it is important to remember, dopamine isn't just about pleasure, it's about anticipation. It's about the feeling of maybe the next one would be better. So we scroll, just one more comment. Here's something uncomfortable. Negativity is very hard to ignore. Negative comments capture our attention more than positive ones. Psychologists call this negativity bias. Our brains evolved to prioritize threats over pleasant experiences, as this was essential for our survival. Thousands of years ago, one dangerous animal mattered far more than noticing a nice flower. This bias still exists today. One angry comment sticks in our mind longer than 50 positive ones. If you write a negative comment below, I will think about it way more. Trust me. That's why arguments, criticism, and outrage often dominate comment section. They're simply harder for our brains to ignore. Unfortunately, social media algorithms often reward this too. Comments that spark heated debates generate more replies, more engagement, and more visibility. So negativity rises to the top, creating the impression that everybody's arguing, even if they're not. Finally, we want closure. Have you ever watched a confusing ending and immediately gone to the comments? You're not alone. Sometimes we're looking for explanations. We want to check if everybody's equally confused. Or we just want a reassurance that we didn't completely misunderstand what happened. The comment section often provides closure. People explain hidden references, answer unanswered questions, notice details we missed. It's like having a discussion with your classmates after you finished an exam. You want to know that everybody chose B and get worried if you chose B and they chose D. So, in a nutshell, why do we read the comments? It's not just because we're nosy. We are nosy, but that's not the only reason. They actually satisfy several powerful psychological needs all at once. They help us understand what others think. They satisfy our curiosity. They make us feel part of a group. They validate our opinions or challenge them. They provide unpredictable rewards that keep us scrolling. They give us a sense of what we've just experienced. In other words, the comment section really isn't about comments. It's about connection with people. Do you do this, or are you an evolved human that doesn't need to read the comments? What platform do you like reading the comments most on? I'd love to hear your feedback.